interacting with you intermolecular forces. So first of all, we will discuss regarding the intermolecular forces. The intermolecular forces are nothing but a forces of attraction. A forces of attraction is there, and this forces of attraction as well as a forces of repulsion between the interacting particle, and this interactive or interaction attractive forces as well as repulsive forces which is present in the atoms or molecules, and this type of forces called as the intermolecular forces. Now it does not includes electrostatic forces. You generally many peoples are confusing in the what you are called intermolecular forces and electrostatic forces. So there is a great difference between intermolecular forces and electrostatic forces. So you don't confuse. Intermolecular forces are totally different than the electrostatic forces. Now this type of electrostatic forces are observed in two oppositely charged ion, that is covalent bond. For example, we are representing in case of covalent bond. Covalent bond is nothing but a best example of electrostatic forces. But these intermolecular forces are totally different than the electrostatic forces. So these intermolecular forces are nothing but a one type of force of attraction or force of repulsion between only and only interacting particle. So resultantly, we are getting the intermolecular forces. Such type of forces are known as intermolecular forces. Now, when the intermolecular forces are attractive, then such type of intermolecular forces are called as a van der Waals forces. Van der Waals forces. So there are three types of the intermolecular forces. We are going to discuss about these three types of the intermolecular forces. First one is a dipole-dipole forces or interaction. You can call it as a dipole-dipole forces or dipole-dipole interaction. Second case is dispersion forces or London forces. And third category from this intermolecular forces is dipole induced dipole forces. So we will go into detail regarding these three types of the intermolecular forces. A particularly strong type of dipole-dipole interaction is also present in the hydrogen bonding. Only few of the elements can participate in the hydrogen bond formation. Not all the elements cannot participate in the hydrogen bonding formation. We'll go into detail later on. I will discuss with you how the hydrogen bonding is there, how they will be formed, and what is the different characteristics exhibited by the hydrogen bonding due to formation of a hydrogen bonding. Now, attractive forces between an ion and dipole are known as ion dipole forces. First of all, I am here written here what is meant by ion dipole forces. If there is a attraction between the ion and dipole, and such type of attraction between ion and dipole creates, that is attraction or force, that is called as attractive force is there between ion and dipole. So due to attraction, they creates a force, and such type of force called as ion dipole force. And these are not a van der Waals force. Again, I am repeating here the at the initial stage I have yesterday I have discussed with you that the intermolecular forces are totally different than the van der Waals forces. So this intermolecular, sorry, not van der Waals, electrostatic forces. So ion and dipole, if ion and dipole having attractive forces, such type of force is called as a ion dipole force of attraction. Just we will go to next slide from our presentation. Just 1 minute. First one, dipole-dipole interaction. In this dipole-dipole interaction, we are going to discuss what is meant by dipole-dipole forces or dipole-dipole interaction. Now, in this dipole-dipole interaction or dipole-dipole force will be acted between the molecule which possessing permanent dipole. It's very important. These types of forces are observed in case of any material or any molecule which is possessed or which is having a permanent dipole. If any molecule does not having a permanent dipole, such type of molecule does not exhibit dipole-dipole forces or dipole-dipole interaction. Hence, any molecule which are having a permanent dipole, they are able to form the dipole-dipole forces. Next point is the polar molecule interact with the neighboring molecule. You are familiar about that. If positive charges or negative charges is present on the any molecule, this positive and negative charges will be Yes, interact with the neighboring molecule. So such type of interaction is stronger than the London forces, but it is weaker than the ion-ion interaction, because only they are having a very partial or very slight charges, that is partial charges are involved. The attraction between opposite charges is of course greater than the repulsion between the like pole. The attractive forces are decreases with increase in the distance between the dipole. If positive charge is present on one molecule, negative charge is present on another molecule, if these two molecules or these two charges or these two terminals are having a greater distance, what will happen? The attractive forces will be decreases. Means in short, we can say that the attractive forces will be minimized or decreases if we increase the distance between the dipole. The distance between the dipoles are greater, the attractive forces is less. Distance between the dipole, two dipoles are very, very less. At that time, the attractive forces is also not low, but it is high. So attractive forces are inversely proportional to the distance between the dipoles. If dipole distance is great, the attractive forces are, yes, at distance between the two poles are more, the attractive forces also less is the attractive forces. So next point is that the interaction energy is also important in case of these attractive forces. So in case of interaction energy is also inversely proportional to the distance between the polar molecule. If we increase the distance between the polar molecule, the interaction energy is less. If the distance between the polar molecule is less, then interaction energy is more. Means if two dipoles are very close, then at that time the interaction energy is also more, as well as attraction or attractive forces are also more in that case. So I am representing here one of the example of hydrogen chloride HCl molecule. Now this is a figure or distribution of electron cloud which is present in the HCl molecule, and this HCl molecule is a polar molecule here. Polar molecule is here. Now in this polar molecule, hydrogen and chlorine is there. In this case also hydrogen and chlorine is there. As chlorine having a more electronegativity, you know, chlorine having a more electronegativity, more charge density is toward the chlorine atom, and hence this chlorine bears a negative charge here. And this negative charge is there, and negatively charged chlorine and this positively charged hydrogen. So there is a great intermolecular attraction between this chlorine and hydrogen, and I have shown here by dashed line here, and this more charge density will be attracted or toward the chlorine atom. So this is a covalent bond which is present in the hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid. Now this is a figure which shows that distribution of electron cloud in the hydrogen chloride, a polar molecule is there. Now I have shown in the next figure how the dipole-dipole interaction between the hydrogen chloride molecule is there. Just to check here, HCl, another is HCl, third is also HCl, which is having a two polar or dipoles is there. Positive pole is there and negative pole is also there. This negatively poled containing chlorine atom will be creates a dipole-dipole attraction between the positively charged hydrogen of second hydrochloric acid molecule. Now this second hydrochloric acid molecule having a negative terminal on chlorine, and this negative terminal bearing chlorine atom will be interact with the hydrogen of positively charged hydrochloric acid, and in such a way there is a greater dipole-dipole interaction between each and every molecule of hydrochloric acid. So this figure 4.2 indicates dipole-dipole interaction between the two hydrochloric acid molecules. Now we will move to next force, that is you can call it as a dispersion force or London force. Now the why the name London is there? Because this force is discovered by the scientist Fritz London, and that's why this type of force is called as the London force. The scientist scientist was from German. He's a German scientist, German physicist who discovered that force, and that's why the name is given to that force, London force. It is also called as a dispersion force, and this force has been discovered by the scientist Fritz London. That's why this force is also called as a London force. Now atoms, just we will discuss regarding the London force or dispersion force. Atoms and non-polar molecules are electrically symmetrical. You know that any atoms or non-polar molecule they are always electrically symmetrical and have no dipole moment, because their electronic charge cloud is symmetrically present or symmetrically distributed. But dipole may be developed momentarily. How the momentarily dipole will be developed in this non-polar molecule or non-polar atom, just to see here how it is to be happens here. It maybe so happens momentarily how the electronic charge distribution is one of the atoms, say A. Suppose this is atom A and this is atom B is there, and they are having unsymmetrical charge distribution. So this white portion suppose indicates that the electron density is maximum here. Here also electron density is maximum, and central positive charge is also there. So this atom A and atom B having an unsymmetrical distribution of electron, that is charge cloud is more on one side than the other side here. So in this figure 4.a, I'm represented here atom A with the instantaneous dipole, more electron density on the right side here. Just you see here, more electron density at the right side. So the electron density is here, just I have shown by the intense pink color. Now atom B is also here. So if this atom A having a instantaneous dipole moment, it will be turns here, because as positive charges, they will be repelled to each other. It will be turns like this. Automatically the atom B will be turns in this way. And what happens, there will be the oppositely charge will be comes to close to each other. Means as here positive, after turning this one, how we will get the figure 4.5, atom A. Now it will give getting a delta negative at this side and delta negative also at this side. Now delta positive at this side and delta negative this side, they will be form the dispersion force, or you can call it as a London force here. Now this positively charged molecule and this negatively charged molecule creates a force of attraction between these two, and such type of forces are called as a London forces. Now friends, you know here that I want to share with you, initially these two atom A and B molecule was not symmetrical, but not having polarity, but it is non-polar molecule. But if they will be gets twisted, because due to unequal distribution of electrons in this molecule, due to unequal distribution of electron, they will be twisted, and atom A and B will be gets more electron density either on the left or right side. So this formation or such type of generation of electrostatic force of attraction or dispersion forces, so the such type of forces called as a London forces. Now what they result, now due to formation of such type of changes in the molecule, they results in the development of instantaneous dipole. Means quickly positive and negative charges are developed on atom A for a short time. Within a short time, there is a formation of a positive and negative charges on A and B. Now this instant formation of electron density on atom B, which is close to A and B, and it is consequences into a dipole moment. That dipole moment is called as induced dipole moment in the atom B. Now as the atom B having induced dipole moment, the temporary dipole moment was formed on atom A, and thus these two will be attract with each other. And similarly, temporary dipoles are induced in molecules also. Means as initially the dipole moment was temporary, but it will be induced into the other molecule. So this may be called as the induced dipole moment. So these types of forces are important only at a short distance, very important. If the molecules are having more distance or larger distance, such type of forces are not observed in that cases. So these types of forces, London forces, are very important only for a short distances. Let us we move to next point, that is dipole and induced dipole forces. Dipole and induced dipole forces. One of the atom or molecule having a dipole, but another atom does not having dipole. When this dipole containing atom or molecule creates a dipole or polarity on the second molecule, such type of forces called as a dipole induced dipole forces. For example, attractive forces operates between the polar molecule having a permanent dipole and the molecule lacking a permanent dipole. Means one of the molecule having a permanent dipole and another molecule which does not having a permanent dipole. If such type of two molecules comes closer with each other, at that time they will be creates induced dipole or dipole induced dipole forces. So in this structure or in this presentation, I will share with you how the dipole and induced dipole forces will be created. So permanent dipole of the polar molecule induces dipole on the electronically neutral molecule due to deformation of electron cloud, and thus inducer dipole is developed in the other molecule. So molecules of larger size can be easily polarized. Highly polarizability increases the strength of the attractive interaction. Just you see here, this is a water molecule, and this water molecule is highly polar molecule. It is having highly polarity, or dipole is there. Dipole is present in this water molecule. But if you consider xenon molecule, this xenon is electronically neutral. Electronically neutral means there is no dipole present in the xenon. When this water molecule came in contact with the xenon molecule, this water molecule having a dipole, it will be transferred to the xenon molecule, and due to transformation of dipole from water to xenon molecule, there is an interactive force between xenon molecule and water molecule. So this interactive force of attraction is called as a dipole induced dipole force. Dipole inducer dipole. But initially xenon molecule does not having any dipole, but the dipole is induced, but the dipole is produced due to the attachment, due to the presence of this water molecule in the xenon. So initially xenon was not having dipole, but when it comes with contact with water molecule, it will be having a dipole, and due to production of this inducer dipole in the xenon and water molecule having a force of attraction between, attractive forces or force of attraction. Such type of force of attraction is called as a dipole inducer dipole forces. So here I am showing picture how the dipole and induced dipole forces are there. So this is a permanent dipole containing polar molecule which is having a pole negative, and pole negative is here, positive is here. This is AB is a terminal, A point having a delta positive, B point having a delta negative. So this molecule has a permanent dipole. Polar molecule is there. Now in this case, in the such type of molecule came in contact with non-polar molecule. This molecule is a purely non-polar, does not having positive end, does not having negative end. When this non-polar molecule came in contact with the permanent dipole or polar molecule, what happens? There is a creation of a permanent dipole, which is a polar molecule having already polar. But if this permanent dipole containing organic molecule came in contact with non-polar molecule, what happens? This non-polar molecule gets polarity, gets dipole moment here. Delta negative and delta positive and delta negative is here. Initially, in this case, delta negative or positive charges are not there. But if this non-polar molecule came in contact with this permanent dipole containing organic molecule, it will be creates a positive and negative charges. So such type of dipole produced in this case is called as inducer dipole in the non-polar molecule. Initially it was non-polar, but after it came in contact with this molecule, it will be induced dipole will be there observed in this non-polar molecule. Here I am representing water molecule again here. When oxygen molecule, when a non-polar molecule approaches to the polar molecule, this is non-polar molecule approaches to the polar molecule. Now like water molecule, and this is non-polar molecule with a permanent dipole. What happens? The dipole will be induced in the non-polar molecule. So just to see here, this is a dipolar water molecule and non-polar oxygen molecule. When they are approaches to each other, the dipole of water will be induced, and this induced dipole will be came in contact with the oxygen molecule, and the oxygen molecule get distorting, and the electron cloud from this water molecule will be transferred to this oxygen, and due to transformation of electron from this water, the oxygen will be distorted, and thus electron cloud is distorted between of oxygen, and thus there is a strong force of attraction. It is between water dipole negative and induced dipole in oxygen. In oxygen, there is a creation of positive and negative charges, and positive terminal of oxygen will be creates a force of attraction between the negative charge of water molecule. In this case also, I am shown here the hydrogen chloride, that is hydrochloric acid, HCl, which is having a polarity, that is dipole moment. They came in contact with argon. This is no dipole or molecule, no polarity here. When this argon is neutral, and if this neutral argon came in contact with hydrochloric acid, inducer dipole will be created by the hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid, and thus form the dipole, inducer dipole force of attraction between this HCl and argon molecule. Now we are moving to second point, that is hydrogen bonding, very important point from the syllabus point of view how the hydrogen bonding is formed and what are the essential condition for the hydrogen bonding. Now, friends, you know what is meant by hydrogen bonding. Initially, I will discuss with you. This is one type of electrostatic force of attraction which is observed between the molecule containing hydrogen which is covalently bonded to the highly electronegative atom. Means any organic molecule which containing hydrogen, if they are yes bond, if they are having the ability to form the electrostatic force of attraction between this containing hydrogen and any highly electronegative atom. Specifically, what happens if the water molecule is there having yes hydrogen, and if this hydrogen of water molecule will be able to form the hydrogen bond of NH, because hydrogen from water and nitrogen from yes amine or any basis will be able to hydrogen bond. Suppose OH bonding may be there, so NH is nothing but hydrogen bond between this hydrogen bond formed yes between this nitrogen. This hydrogen bond formed due to presence of oxygen, this hydrogen bond due to presence of fluorine. So these are some common hydrogen bonding formed in the heteroatom like nitrogen, oxygen, and in some cases halogen may be there. For example, how the hydrogen bonding is formed, here I am showing here in this figure. This water molecule initially it is electrically neutral, but the positive and negative charges are not distributed uniformly because there is no exact distribution of positive and negative charges in the water molecule. For example, the negative charge is totally present at the right side of the water molecule, and hydrogens they are present at the left side of the molecule. Means more the electrons present at the right side and less are the electrons present at the left side, and that's why left side is called as a partial positive side and negative side is called as a partial negative side, and that's why they are not equally distributed or not distributed uniformly, and thus negative charges are present at the right side and positive charges are present at the left side. So there is unequal distribution of negative and positive charges, or you can call it as the charges are not distributed uniformly. Now, due to unequal distribution of charges, what happens? There is a displacement. That displacement is called as an electric dipole, and hence water molecule having an electric dipole due to unequal distribution of positive and negative charges. Thus, water produces electric dipole, that is positive charge is here, negative charge is here. If the electrons are moved at the right side, that terminal or that pole is called as a yes negative pole. If less electron density is present at the left side, and this pole is called as a positive pole of the water molecule. Now, if hydrogen bond is formed, now how much amount of energy is released? During the hydrogen bonding, the energy released is between 10 to 100 kilojoule per mole. Now, this hydrogen bond are hydrogen bonds are powerful. They creates a powerful force. There is a powerful force between hydrogen of one molecule and more electronegative atom of other molecule. Such type of attractive force is called as a hydrogen bond, and this type of hydrogen bonding plays very important in determination of structure as well as property of the many organic compound. For example, if we are dealing with the proteins and nucleic acid, and these proteins or nucleic acid are very important for the human being, so they produces a lot of chemical reactions in our body, and if there is a imbalance of the hydrogen bonding which is present in the protein and nucleic acid, there is so many changes are observed in the human body. For example, this data provides us the importance of the hydrogen bonding present in the proteins and the nucleic acid. So friends, you know, here you read carefully, there are total 44,000 types of hydrogen bonding. 44 hydrogen bonds are present in the protein DNA complex, as well as 77,000 hydrogen bonds are present in the protein RNA. In this case, protein and DNA complex, protein and DNA bonding is there, and hydrogen bonds are 44,000. Between the protein and RNA, 77,000 hydrogen bonds are there. So this is a very complex reactions. Complex bonding is present in the not in the metabolism process, but throughout in the body, there is a hydrogen bonding which is present in the proteins and the nucleic acid. In second case, 77,000 hydrogen bonds is proteins and RNA. It is very complexes, and there are 59,000 hydrogen donors and 18 thousands hydrogen acceptors they are present in the amino acid. So from this data you can confirm that, you can imagine that how the hydrogen bond plays very important role for the binding of the protein and DNA, for the binding of the protein and RNA, and how the acceptor and donor molecules hydrogens are with the amino acids. Now this is a very important role for the human being. So hydrogen bonds are also responsible for the specific base pair formation in the DNA, double helix, as well as major factor for the stability of DNA. Means any DNA or is very stable due to formation of a hydrogen bonds, and this is the responsibility of hydrogen bond to make stable for the DNA. Now, as hydrogen bond in water occurs between the hydrogen atom of one water molecule and lone pair of electron on oxygen atom, so the hydrogen bonding between water molecules, same water molecule, one water molecule form the hydrogen bonding with other water molecule, and this water molecule forms hydrogen bond with third water molecule. Just to check here, HH, HHO, HHO. This is a hydrogen. Again here, this HHO and HHO, these are the three water molecule, how they are present here. The hydrogen bond between this electronegative oxygen of one water molecule and electropositive, that is delta positive charge containing hydrogen molecule of other water molecule, they form the electrostatic force of attraction. And these terminals, negative terminal and positive terminal, having a hydrogen bond, and this dashed line indicates the presence of hydrogen bond. Here also the hydrogen bond is here, and this is also a hydrogen bond. Here O and H is a covalent bonding. Covalent bonding is present in the O and H, and this bond is not a hydrogen bond, but this is bond is called as a covalent bond, and this bond is very polar because at one terminal the oxygen is there, at the other terminal proton is there, and this oxygen is more electronegative than the proton. So this bond is very polar because oxygen pulls electron toward itself, and that's why the polarity of this covalent bond will be more and more. Thus this bond is called as a polar covalent bond, and this is a hydrogen bonding present here. So in this way we will stop here. Remaining part I will continue on next in the next period. So we will stop here. Any doubt, please? Yes, are you audible? Hello, hello, are you audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, we will stop here. Bye.